Hey everybody, welcome to the Truly Myrtle podcast. It is so lovely to have you with me. I'm Libby, I'm the designer at Truly Myrtle, and I am the founder of Wardrobe Toolbox, and that is the place where you come and figure out how to make garments fit you and feel fabulous, and you're making things that you actually want to wear and put in your wardrobe. So it is lovely to have you with me. I'm broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. It is so nice to see so many faces here already. And we chat for, I don't know, anywhere from half an hour to an hour, depends how much chat I've got in me. And you can talk to me too. And so I'm just going to go here and look at your chat. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Claire. Nice to see you this morning. Facebook's always a little bit slow. They'll be here in a minute. But first of all, we have YouTube that comes with us. Here comes Facebook now. Hey, hey, hey. Nice to see you, everybody. Oh, Charmian, you're down in Hamner Springs. Sounds beautiful. What kind of day is it here? It is sort of it's a slightly overcast day. I think the sun desperately wants to come out. The sky is blue behind the clouds. It's a little bit of a crisp feel to the air, but I think it's going to be a good day. I think the afternoon will really heat up. We're starting to get a little bit more heat in the end of the day, so I'm enjoying that. Hey, Marianne, nice to see you, and Laurel and Kim. Hi, Catherine. It's nice to see you from all over the world. Here's Venka from Norway and Catherine from Colorado. Marianne from Gippsland. It's so nice to see you. Canberra. And, of course, my Sydney siders. Beck, there's a parcel in the post for you today. Bet and Rangiora here in New Zealand. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. All right. I've got a few things to chat to you about today. I'll just remind you that if you're not on my mini mag list, sign up to my mini mag. It's the way I stay in touch with everybody with my emails every week. They go straight into your inbox your Friday morning if you live down this end of the world, or your Thursday night if you're at the northern hemisphere, and I just chat to you about things that are happening in my knitting world. And I also, they're not very long, they're nice and quick, so you can have a little fill up with happy knittingness. And then I also give you special discounts for new pattern releases and things like that. So make sure you sign up to that. Just go to go to trulymyrtle.com/mini mag. Now, if you do want to sign up to Wardrobe Toolbox, the doors aren't open at the moment, but you can jump on the waiting list. So go to wardrobetoolbox.com and just sign up. You just jump on the waiting list, and I'll be in touch with you and let you know when the doors open next time. They'll open in March next time. We've just shut them. All right, a few things to talk to you about. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things I'm trying to help my sore thumb, because I've got a bit of a sore thumb, and that is causing me, it's actually better than it was, but it is causing me a bit of grief. So I'll talk to you a bit about that. I've got 3 dream projects that I'm working on. I've got a new plan, a new strategy coming. So we'll see if I can pull it off. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about how to come up with some of my ideas, because I was thinking about that the other day as ideas were hitting me in the head. So I thought I'd talk to you about some of that. All right, so sore thumbs. Now I was knitting, look, here it is here. I was knitting this very fat yarn for Wardrobe Toolbox. It's quite a dense yarn. This is a Corriedale. It's beautiful. It's from Manos. And I was knitting that for Wardrobe Toolbox for a little top that we had. And what they don't realize is, before I decided on doing the little vest or slip over that we ended up getting, I knitted almost an entire cardigan in this yarn before I thought, actually, no, I don't want to do a big garment in this yarn. I want to do a small garment in this yarn. It's crying out to be a small garment. And then I ended up riffing off that and taking 3 yarns, yeah, a DK, a fingering, and a lace weight mohair, and held them together to do the same weight but in combined yarns. And we talked all about how do you know how much yarn you're making when you're holding all the skeins together, what sort of yardage do they use, and things like that. So I just sort of morphed it into something that could be really useful for us. So as I was knitting this, which I thoroughly enjoyed, it's a beautiful, beautiful lime color. It's glorious. I wasn't noticing at the time, but okay, I was using these big fat needles. I've been doing some little, I was using them again the other day to do some tutorials for Wardrobe Toolbox. I'm just going to take my knitting off the end of it. And I use these big fat needles. I didn't actually have big fat needles this big. I had to go and buy some more. They are massive. They're 6.5mm needles. I never normally use needles this large. I just don't. It doesn't tend to be in my knitting repertoire. But I got those big needles and I was knitting along and all was fine until it wasn't. And then after knitting, I think fast, so much over a period of time, ripping back, starting again, thinking about things, changing my mind, I started to develop quite a sore thumb down in here. It's actually here, this part here on me. It's actually got to be quite sore. And at first it was bad because I couldn't stop knitting. I had to finish this thing and it wasn't great. And I ended up finding it really hard to open things. Like that movement there is quite sore. What I'm finding now is that little movements that aren't connected with knitting are actually still a bit sore. I was definitely have some weakness going on in this thumb here. This is not a good scenario for someone that knits every day and for their job. This is not a great scenario to have an incapacitated thumb. So it's been worrying me a bit. The other thumb's fine. It's just this thumb here, my right thumb. Like, I know I'm left-handed, but I'm very right dominant. And so this is my strong hand. So it's been a real bother for me working out what to do. I've tried a bunch of different things. I've rubbed it with castor oil and cypress. I find those tree oils, cypress, white pine, all of those, and a bit of lavender, I find those really helpful for anything that's joint related or muscle related. So I've been rubbing those, and castor oil just makes it go into the place. So I do that. I haven't done that for a couple of weeks now, but I was doing that quite a bit at first. I was rubbing into that area. I think that did help. I ditched knitting with my thick needles and I moved back to a lighter project. I have been knitting all the time. I knit as much as I can, and but I'm finding with smaller needles I'm much better. I don't have a thumb brace, Sharon, but I'm thinking maybe I should get one, particularly if I go for even a DK at the moment. That is something I might look into. But I found that it's got a little bit better with that. And I've also got something called MSM. I don't know if you guys know that. I can't remember what it stands for, but MSM is something that people take when they to manage arthritis. I have a liquid. I have some capsules for it, but I have tablets actually. But I also have liquid form, and I just keep it in the fridge. And I've been knocking that back. Now the last couple of weeks I've been having a little bit more of that. That makes a massive difference to me, the MSM. So I try and take that a couple of times in the day. I think that's doing the best thing of all. So anyway, I'm finding it's a little bit better, but I'm a bit conscious of it. I'm just sure that it's not fabulous. So what I did the other day, because we were talking about it in Wardrobe Toolbox, why I ended up talking about it, I'm not sure. Oh, yes, I remember why. It's because someone was asking about thumb pain to do with arthritis. And I don't know if this will work for arthritis, but I pulled out this book here, which I have from Carson Demas. Now, Carson Demas has come to speak to us a couple of times on Wardrobe Toolbox. That's Carson. He is such a lovely guy. He is a physical therapist. That's what they call him in the States. He's in America. I don't know if would we call him a physical therapist here, or would we call him a occupational therapist, or would we call him a physio? I'm not sure what the thing would be, the name specifically. But anyway, he is a knitter and he is also a physical therapist, and he has written this rather dense, heavy book about knitting comfortably, the ergonomics of hand knitting. There is so much information in this book, so much information about all sorts of things to do with knitting and needles and how you sit and your posture and all of those things. And so someone asked me a question in our Q&A about managing arthritis, and I pulled out this book and I found a few exercises that he has given us in here. And what I think I've done is I think I've got the thing that he says isn't great. I think I've developed a little bit of a tendonitis down here in my hand. And so the exercises, he's 3 exercises, but there's one I find particularly good, and I'll show it to you because it actually is great. It feels so good to me. So if you're finding that you have this patch here in your hand that's not feeling good, this thummy part, and that it stretches down into here. It could be that your tendons down here have just been a little bit wrecked as well. This exercise I found really good. So what you do is you put your thumb into your palm and you fold your hand over, and then you can actually do it stretched out like that, and then you push your thumb down, so like that, and you push it down, and oh my gosh, it feels amazing. The stretch through here feels amazing. Look, it might be worth just doing it. I usually do it with both hands. I do it when I go for my walk, and I just walk along the road like that, and I just feel the stretch in my hands. Because I live in the country, there's nobody on the road, so it's fine. But and I just feel the stretch, and it goes all the way up here, and I can feel this side is tighter. It's way tighter than this hand when I do it, but that feels great, and automatically I feel a little bit of relief there. The other one, I've kind of forgotten because I don't really do it, but you put your hand down on your lap and you sort of stretch it out like that. And then he also talks about jazz hands. And I'm not sure if I've entirely worked out what jazz hands are. Are they just like this, or are they, I think there's something to do with flapping your hands. But actually that feels quite good as well. So I've been doing those, just trying to move it. I have been not doing things like opening jars. That is not great. And there's little tiny movements like turning the page. If I try and turn the page in a book, it's just the littlest movement like that. That's probably one of the worst things I do. So I've been avoiding doing those sorts of things to try and clear it up. But if you are someone that battles with a body that feels sore, I got this from a bookshop here in New Zealand called, is it called Minerva, I think, in Wellington? But you can buy this book all over the world. He sells it himself as well, I think. And look, it's just fantastic. I think that it might be worth having in your bookshelf. It's not the cheapest book, and it certainly is a big book to keep, but it might just save you when you need it. Particularly if you love to knit. I've got hair all over me today. Particularly if you love to knit and you're finding that you've got a bit of a sore hand. All right, let me just see what you're saying. Warm and muggy today. Oh my gosh, Catherine, you're getting your first major snowstorm. 6 to 8 inches. Catherine, you were snowing last week too. It just started, and here we are, snowstorms. Well, I am looking at the swimming pool thinking, come on, summer. I'm so ready to dive into that pool. So I'm hoping I'm the other way around. It's definitely a smirky day. Says Maureen, I'm cold. Yeah, I had to put on my cardi last night. It really got a bit of a chill last night. Hi, Katie. Nice to see you from Scotland. Bernadette says it's 21 degrees and the wire wrapper already. You know, the story goes that my great grandmother, Zoe Matilda, she was actually Zoeth. She was a Mexted. Zoe Matilda Mexted was her name. She was the first woman to ride astride in the wire wrapper. That is the story. Now, whether it's actually the wire wrapper, I'm not sure, or a particular part of it, but she used to go on the hunts, and she rode astride. There we go. Apparently she was the first. It was a bit of a scandal. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you from warm and muggy Sydney, and it's foggy in East Sussex. Hi, Linda from Wales. Oh, it's nice to see you all the way from Wales. Have I changed the time? I haven't changed my time, but the time has changed because it is now summertime here in New Zealand. Technically, we're on summertime. So I am an hour. We sprang forward. I went forward an hour. So it could be. Oh, KP, you're in Prague. Nice to see you. Yes, the thumb brace, I think so. Kim says, sadly, giving it a rest is the only option. Yes, I think resting it from those things that really aggravate it. I'm finding knitting is okay, although I was knitting a small circumference the other day, and I was thinking, this isn't exactly fantastic for my hand, for my thumb. So I'm back on a bigger stretch now. So I will try and avoid some of those little, it's just the little movements. I don't know, because I don't know what it was, whether I was gripping the needle, but the thick yarn, it was just a bit of a pain. Morgan says, I take ibuprofen, massage, anti-flam into it and pinch each side of the hand and take more breaks in between the knitting. Yeah. Well, the thing about, one of the things, I'll talk to you about this in a minute, because one of the problems with being someone who is a knitwear designer or, does a job in knitting is you don't get as much time to knit. You have to fight to have time to knit. So I am getting knitting breaks. I just try and fit my knitting in whenever I can. I've got an idea about that, and I'm going to talk to you about that today as well. Michelle says that Earth Tones Girl had a similar pain, and the Fruity Knitting Podcast had a session with a hand physio from Germany. Oh, good. Small exercises helped. Oh, good. I might check that out. I have a funny feeling I may have seen that flash up on my YouTube. So I might have a little look at that. Thanks, Michelle. It's cold and snowy in Idaho, USA. Oh, Cindy, it's starting to feel Christmassy. Oh, arnica cream is good. Yeah, I use arnica. In fact, I may have taken some arnica. Mr. Myrtle was complaining of a pain, and I gave him a big whack of arnica the other day. So I've got arnica cream, and so that is quite good. I don't think I've actually rubbed it in yet, but maybe I should. I know that Walida, a company here in New Zealand, does a tendinitis cream, which I don't think I've got any left at the moment, but that has things in it, a couple of homeopathic remedies that I like in that too, so maybe I'll hunt that one down. Yeah, arnica, Kapi also says the arnica. Yeah. Hey Terry, nice to see you. It's a sunny warm day down south. Very nice. Catherine said I've used it and known other people who helped with arthritis. Let's have a look, Catherine. I missed what you might have just said. Did you say the arnica? You could have. I think you might have. Pain away is good. I think that might have arnica in it too, actually, doesn't it, Sharon? The pain away. I think maybe it does. Brilliant. We'll try that. Okay, I'm onto it. I am trying to do it, but I thought I would just mention that to you because that little simple exercise that I'm doing, I find that does give me quite a lot of relief up here, and so I think that is helping. Yes, a hand therapist. I should seek out a hand therapist, someone that can just, even a physio. I could call it an accident here in New Zealand. Do you think it's an accident when I'm knitting? It's quite accidental that it happened. I don't know. We get ACC. Oh goodness, Barbara said she bought this book off a Yarn D stash page and it was a bargain at $50. Good on you, Barbara. Excellent. And it's a nice warm 29 degrees for you, Louise. Forgot to change here in US Florida. Not too late. Phew! You forgot the time change. Oh, excellent. Have you changed times too over in Florida? Alrighty. And Christchurch is going to get to 26 degrees. I can't believe it, Christchurch. You'll come and dive in my pool, I reckon. That's what I'm dying to dive in the pool this year. I'm not sure what togs I'm going to wear, but I'm dying to dive in the pool. Oh, yeah, good idea. Terry says to get a regular massage. Okay, so look, you guys are onto it. We all understand the absolute terror that comes with having a hand that might not want to work to do your knitting, because that would be a disaster for me if I had a problem and I couldn't knit. It would be a disaster for me. I'd have to find other things to do, but goodness me, I don't even bear thinking about. So I have been working at that, and I just wanted to show you that. I also was considering trying some new needles. So I know that I've heard quite a few people say that they're enjoying their carbon needles for helping their hands. And over the years I've had wood and I've had metal, and for a long time now I've used my Chow Goose, which are metal, and I love those needles. I also really, really enjoy the higher needles. I think maybe I actually even like those better than my Chow Goose. I'm starting to think, because I love the cables, because in part I wonder if wrestling a little bit of a stiffer cable doesn't help me as well. These cables can be quite stiff compared to the Chow Goose cables, are those very fine blue ones. And it might be the colour that's leading me to think that they're very, very soft. But I think that they are, and they've got the swivel tip. And I'm thinking, that might be not a bad option for me. But I have been hearing about carbons. And I know Knit Pro do a carbon and Chow Goo do a carbon. I'm really curious to hear from you. Have you got carbon needles, and which ones did you try? Because I think maybe I'll have a bash at doing some carbons and just see if that helps. And I might just try the odd one here and there, and then if I decide I like them, I could maybe move over, because Chow Goo do some with a metal tip. I'm not sure I suppose the Knit Pros are like that too. But if you have used carbons, just let me know in the chat, because I'm really keen to hear about those. And I have got some square shaped needles, which I'm just unsure about moving everything over to square shaped needles, but I have got some 4mm needles, US 6. I haven't used those yet, but I think I'll try them with it for a shawl. I've got a shawl planned for Wardrobe Toolbox next year, and I might do that on a 4 and just see how they go. Katie said, I've just started using the Knit Pro Cubics. They are wood, but they're square, and I find them very comfortable. That might be what I have, Katie. I've got something that's cubed. Anyway, Sharon loves the carbons. And which ones are those, Sharon? Are they the Knit Pros or the Chow-Goos? I'm curious to hear what the carbon ones are that you like, and so that I can investigate them. Okay, so the other thing, like I said, was when you spend your time creating a whole business about knitting and making things, you would not believe how little time you have to actually make the things. It is starting to drive me crazy that I have ideas, I have plans, and I'm finding myself stuck in front of my computer over there way too much for my liking. I am not a sitting down person. I know I'm a knitter, but I really am an active person. I think I need to have a reasonable amount of sewing in my life because you're up and down with sewing. I love the intellectual challenge of the knitwear design. I really like a problem. I love solving it. I love thinking it through. I love making things. I love finishing things. I love wearing things. I love just sitting down and having a big old chill and knitting. I do not like sitting in front of my computer. I really don't like it. It drives me crazy, and I'm spending way too much time sitting in front of my computer. It's just getting more and more and more. So I'm making plans to make life easier for me to knit and to do more making and sewing and those sorts of things. And so I'm trying to make some changes in my business and get more help so that I can offload some of that work that I don't really need to be doing, and get people to do some of the things that I think they could do for me, and free me up to do more knitting. This is my dream scenario, so I can be freed up to do more knitting. So with that in mind, I was thinking, something else I've been doing now for quite a long time is I have been knitting monogamously. And I am a very monogamous person, I have to say. I'm not a fan of polygamy at all, except when it might come to knitting. And then I like the idea of it. I do like the idea of being a polygamous knitter, but I don't manage it very well. I haven't been managing to do it. Like, I have got projects and they sit there, but if I'm really busy, if I'm really working on something, I just do that thing. Like, I stick with the one project. But what I am finding, what I've been thinking about lately is, as I'm working on that one project, I have this desire to do the similar kind of construction or the same kind of thing I'm doing and flesh it out a bit more and cast on something else in it. And I'm just finding that I want to do that. I actually want to be working on, I think, 2 or possibly 3 projects at the same time. And when I say projects, I mean designs, because I have so many things that I want to create for designs, and I think you would enjoy that too if I was able to come out with more designing. Because at the moment, Wardrobe Toolbox, they have a free pattern every month, or a pattern that comes with the membership every second month. So that is 6 patterns a year, and of that, at the moment, I am moving towards having 2 garments and 1 accessory, whether it's a hat or a socks or a shawl, or sometimes I have 2 accessories in a season, but often it's been 2 garments and 1 accessory. So that is 4 garments and 2 accessories a year, and it doesn't seem like a lot, does it? But it takes quite a lot for me to get the designs written, done. I keep doing things that are just new to me, which means I've got to figure it all out, and and I'm struggling to find the time to actually get it all done. So to me, I want to do more. I'd like to be able to have patterns for Wardrobe Toolbox and then patterns for absolutely everybody. So I'm thinking of a strategy. How am I going to do this? 1, I need a little bit more help to get me off the computer so I can actually get back to doing a little bit more knitting. So that's one strategy. And my next strategy is to embrace knitting polygamy, because I think that if I had a couple of projects, maybe 3 projects on the go that had similar ideas, then I would really enjoy that, because I'm in the zone and I'd like to stay in the zone, and I could just be zoning it. And whether I put them all out bang bang bang, I don't know, or whether I can then just stagger things, so you get a bit of this and then a bit of that and a bit of something else, so you don't get, overwhelmed with the same ideas. I have to think about that. But I've had some thoughts, I had some ideas around it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start very soon with this plan. I'm going to try it. And I've pulled out some yarn. I've got some yarn that I'm not going to show you because that is for Wardrobe Toolbox, but I've pulled out some other yarn, and I'm going to have a bash at doing 3 things at the same time. And they will all be in different stages, I expect, but I want to just have a go at doing 3 things at the same time. I might swatch them all together. So I might do up some batching like that. I might do batch swatching, and then from there I could do, okay, let's put you for that idea and you for that idea and you for that idea, and start doing some of the maths I need to get them on my needles, and then come back to them and cast on and do a bit, and then get to a phase where the things are kind of flowing, cast on the next one, get to that one, keep going back to that one, and then cast on third. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I am going to try, because I'm just finding it all otherwise too frustrating. So these are the yarns I've found. I won't show you the one I've got for Wardrobe Toolbox. Absolutely stunning yarn, absolutely beautiful. I will tell you, Wardrobe Toolbox people, not this one that's coming next. It's not this one. I'm already thinking about the next one. It is multicolored, so there will be multicolors, okay, coming in the next one, so that'll be fun. And I have 2 piles sitting next to me, so which one do I do first? This one has been calling to me for a while to do, and I have talked to you about it briefly before, but I think I'm actually just going to do it. I have some yarn that I picked up in Christchurch at the beginning of the year. Actually, I ordered it, and then they sent it to me. Dreamfire Yarn sent it to me, and it's fingering yarn in these beautiful colors, which remind me of either this sort of peacock or PowerShell, those sorts of colors. Just absolutely beautiful. Abalone, for those of you who are not in New Zealand. That they're just stunning colors. So what I was thinking, my dream for this was to do, I noticed this one is undone, so I'm going to rewind it, but then I'll show you what it looks like. I can't remember which one I saw first now. I think I saw this one first on their stand when I looked at all the yarn. And, I don't want to make the the yarns go a different way. I think, look, it's so annoying when you undo them and then you get everything back to front, because then when you come to wind the ball, it's all wibbly wop. Anyway, I think I saw this one on their stand, and this one has all the colors in it. It has blues and teals and a lovely minty green in there. Well, it is actually quite minty. It looks a little less minty for you, but it is kind of an aqua green, all the way through to more blues. It really is so pretty, the colors. I thought it seemed really fresh. And from memory, I saw that and I thought, I would like to make those colors into a garment. And so I asked them if they would dye me some of the colors in this as more semi-solids, so that I could somehow work out what I wanted to do with this sort of more variegated skein in with the other skeins. And so they came up with these 2 colors, this color and this color, and this is my pop, you see. So I've got 3 of these. I'll just get some of them out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about. I've got 3 of these, which is this beautiful teal blue with just a splashes of lighter blue and green. They really are quite gorgeous. Now, why is that fuzzy? Oh, there we are. I feel like I wonder if my camera's a bit dirty. Let me just, there we are, people. I'll just wipe my camera. Is that better? Maybe not. So I've got these 3. Oh, it wants to focus on my face. That's the problem. So I've got these 3 here, which are the tealy, beautiful, greeny blues. That is going to be for the body of this thing. And then I've got that one to add to it, because it just gives it a little pop, nice light color. And then somehow, to create some sort of stained glass effect, I want this to go through it. somehow. And I haven't really thought about how, but I will do colour work, and I think I might do slip stitch colour work because I like slip stitch colour work, and it's fingering, and I just think it's not, well, for me it reduces the potential for having too much tightness in that area because you can just approach it with a light hand. Slip stitch colour work is a nice way for people to enter colour work, and I've done quite a few garments with it in now, so I thought I'd do another one. And the other thought I had around this was it's fingering, it's slinky. Let me tell you what the blend is. It is a yak, 20% yak, 20% silk, and 60% merino. So it's a yak silk merino. It's got a lovely twist to it. It reminds me of the yarn I used for Sersha, so it was pretty bomb proof, that yarn. It's just a beautiful twist. I think the colours will be crisp when I put them in the colour work, and it's very smooth, and I think it'll be lovely to wear. It'll feel so nice to wear. This is the name of the dyer that I got it from, Dreamfire Artisan Yarns. I also get some fibre from them at the moment for spinning, although I haven't even touched my spinning wheel. It's my birthday soon, and Mr. Myrtle said to me, what do you want for your birthday? Do you want a spinning wheel? And because I've been saying to him, do you want a barbecue for your birthday? Like a really fancy barbecue, because I want a fancy barbecue for his birthday. And he said, do you want a spinning wheel? And I said, I just don't think that's a sensible idea right now, because I haven't even been able to touch my other spinning wheel. But anyway, why did I say that? Because I have some fibre that comes from Dreamfire Yarns. There we go, I put it in front of my face. That is beautiful, but I haven't been able to put it on my spinning wheel yet. This is called Yasuk 4-ply. Yasuk. Oh, you're such a sook. YASOOK 4-ply. And it's a nice solid fingering length, 366 meters, which is about 400 yards to 100 grams. And I have got 2 jumpers that I wear a lot. You've seen me in them so many times. And one is my Wave Crest and one is my Floozy 2. And they have that low slung yoke, and they have colour work through the yoke, and they're just like a Goldilocks sweater, not too much ease and not too little ease, and they have just a beautiful amount of fullness in the body without being oversized. I can lift, they're light. I often lift up the front and just tuck it into the front of my jeans if I'm wearing them with jeans. They just have a lovely swing through the neck, and I thought, I want another one of those jumpers because I wear them all the time. That possibly they are my, actually, I have my Outlaw cardigan, which I just wear all winter. I reach for that cardigan all the time. But those 2 jumpers are ones that I wear a lot. They would have to be a pretty close second to my Outlaw cardigan, I think. Depends what time of year it is, because sometimes I wear them more. But anyway, that is my thought. So I'm feeling kind of excited about it. I will do some swatching. I'll wind up this skein. I'll just have to work out, I have to have a little think about how I might do the colour work, and the kind of, the things I think about if I'm looking at the yarn. So this, obviously, the thought of this is coming from both yarn and garments that I already have. So I have a sense of the size of this thing I want. So I've sort of got the blueprint for the pattern kind of in my head from what I did before. I'm absolutely rubbish at winding up skeins. I'll just tell you that now. And so I've got the blueprint of the pattern, but I just wanted to think about what kind of colour work do I want. Do I want it to be angular? Do I want it to be swooping, with more curves to it? My feeling is it would be nice, although I'll swatch it because I'm not sure if I'll see it until I swatch it. But my feeling at the moment is that it'll be curved. There'll be curves to this. There'll be more... rather than being too angular. Floozy 2 is relatively angular, and so is Wave Crest. They just have quite a few points in them. They're quite geometric. This one I'm feeling is more curved. So anyway, we'll just see. I'm sort of feeling like sea and sort of beautiful shells, and those lovely power shells that we find, and curves and circles and whirlpools and that sort of thing. That's what I'm thinking. So I will take it from there and have a play with the yarn. I'll have a look through my stitch pattern books. I'll get my charting software out, and I'll just make a few plans, and that will take me a little bit of time just to figure out what kind of look I'm going for that. But that is the first one. So I'm dying to get stuck into that. I think I'll start by winding the skeins. I'll have them out, I'll handle them, I'll look at them, and I'll just get it to start talking to me a little bit more. And I also will start thinking about what I want to wear it with. My suspicion is this will be excellent just over trousers. I don't think I'll have it I think I'll have another one that I can just throw over jeans. I wear jeans a lot through the winter. They're so easy, especially when I'm working and I come out here and I just put my jeans on, and I've got a variety of jeans, and I could just throw these over the top and tuck the front in and pull my sleeves up a bit, and I can get to work. And I have a funny feeling it might fit that, slot into that part of my wardrobe. So I will think a bit more about what else I can wear with it. I mean, it's possible that I could make another pair of trousers. The trousers that I made this year, the beautiful Nanny Iro fabric that I had. Oh, what did I make? The So Liberated trousers. I've forgotten what they're called now. I have worn those so much. I've worn those all the time, those trousers. They're so comfy. So I wouldn't mind another pair of those. And I could just pull it together with this. If I got a fabric that worked with that, I could sort of pull it all together. So that might be nice too. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. So that's my thoughts for that one right now, what I'm thinking. And I thought also it's not going to be crazy hot to knit over the winter. It's over the summer, because I think these will be some of my summer projects. This is not going to be crazy hot to knit, not like knitting some sort of Aran weight thing crazy. Okay, the other yarn I have that I've pulled out, because this has been really, really calling to me, is this yarn. And I was sent this yarn very kindly by someone called Lisa, and she has a podcast, Lisa Rigby. She's got a podcast here in New Zealand called Unwind and Knit with Me. And she's based in Christchurch here in New Zealand, and I met her earlier this year. And so she sent me some yarn recently. She said, I've got this yarn, this Mayak. Would you like to try it? And I said, I would actually, because I've never tried the Mayak yarn, and I'd be keen to try it. So she sent me this beautiful parcel of yarn. There's another type of yarn in there as well, another Mayak yarn. But this is the one that I thought, oh, I think I'd like to have some sort of summer top out of this. This is what I would like to be wearing now, right now. Not at the heat of summer, but right now I could be in this and it would be just lovely. So I'll tell you a little. You can see I've already wound up the pink one. I couldn't resist it. That pink one, I just thought, hello, that is so beautiful. And I've already got an idea of what I want to have it in, how I want to do it. I'll talk to you about that in a second. But it's called Mayak Tibetan Fibers. This is baby yak and organic cotton. Now, I'm a big fan of organic cotton, and the reason I'm a fan of organic cotton is because when they use the sprays on the cotton, it's really bad for the farmers and the farmers' babies. And I would prefer, I don't always have organic cotton, and it's, it does come as a slightly higher price point, but I am very conscious that the sprays, just the nasty, nasty spraying of the cotton is apparently not great for the people that are farming it, and it would be nice to support organic cotton, I think, for that reason alone. That's what motivates me. So this comes in 25 gram skeins, little skeins, but it's 116 meters per 25 grams. So that's about 450 meters per 100 grams. So it's quite a nice weight. It's a little bit lighter, and I thought that'd be nice for a summer top, so that although it's got yak in it, it's 50% yak, 50% cotton, and it does have a woolly look to it. It is quite sort of woolly, but I think there's enough cotton in there that makes it lovely and smooth. So I can see this as a summer top. Now, I was in two minds. I'm in two minds. I know I talked about doing things in similar constructions, and I might still do that, because this is going to be a yoke. And so if I'm going to be working on one yoke, I could be working on two. So I could do that. But the other thought I had for this was doing one of the constructions that I like with the European shoulders, or the gourmet, not gourmet, what do I call them? Couture shoulders. And so the back shoulder falls at the back and then it comes over the front, and I thought I'd quite like something that was a little bit wider on the arm, sort of fell off the arm, and a simple sleeve. It may or may not have a few short rows at the top of the sleeve, because I think it depends on the depth of the sleeve cap whether or not I put a few short rows in there, but it'll be fairly simple. And this, I see eyelets. I'm seeing little eyelets, and I'm thinking that having eyelets along that back shoulder, opening it up, because you know how you're increasing every row to make that shape. If you had eyelets scattered through that, not every row, but every couple of rows or every few rows, then that would be just lovely to start introducing some eyelets up there, and then have those reflected back in other parts of the garment. So I think the beauty of this yarn, a lot of it is going to be the yarn. It has a lot of depth to it, the colors, and so I think enhancing the beauty of the yarn will be really good, but just introducing a little bit of something special into it is kind of what I'm thinking. So I could do that. I could use that construction for this, and I haven't quite decided. I'm going to swatch it and just see. But the other thing I could do is I could do a yoke summer top. I haven't done a yoke summer top, so that's quite tempting as well, that I actually take the yoke construction that I'm already working on, and I just keep playing with it, and I play with where the increases are happening, what is happening in the pattern, how I write the pattern so that it flows, because that I love doing that. I love trying to create a good flow in a pattern so that it's not like all over the shop, it just flows a bit better, but also still honors each of the individual sizes, because really each of those sizes are graded separately for me, right? I don't just do this kind of out like that. It was why it takes me so freaking long, because I'd really look at the sizes and try and grade each of the sizes as I'm going. You have to go back and look at them. So I like to create a bit of a flow. I just like that, and so everything just kind of comes together, and we find a rhythm in the pattern. Barbara is saying yes to a summer yoke top. Well, I could do that, and I still see. You see, if I'm thinking summer yoke top, you know what this says to me with summer yoke top? This says tiny little cable and eyelets. That's what that says to me. And so I'm thinking I just add a little bit of something, and so you can just throw it on, and she's easy peasy to wear. You just throw her on. Got a lovely little circle to the neck. I could do some different short rows. I could actually adjust the way I do my short rows. You see, this is where my brain starts going. This is why when I start one project, I am already thinking of other projects, and that is why I'm thinking I am going to become polygamous when it comes to my knitting, because this is the way my brain works. It starts riffing off something I'm already doing. I'm already doing that with the thing I'm working on. Oh my gosh, I really like it. I can't wait to show you that. I'm so pleased with it. I think it could be probably one of the better ones, one of the better designs I've ever done, I think, in terms of wearability. And it was really complicated. It's a really long pattern. It's not a beginner pattern, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a wardrobe toolbox pattern for December, and I can't wait to show you. It's so nice. Although I still don't like doing the photographs. I have to tell you, I just hate doing the photographs. But anyway, so those are my thoughts. That is my thoughts. And I'm going to really have a bash at it. I feel like now is a good time to start. We're coming into summer. I have got all these. I've started getting, the reason I've been working so hard on my computer as well is because I've been trying to batch things and get things ready so I can have a little bit of a breather over January, and I can spend a little bit more time, with my family. I probably should do that. Spend a little bit more time with my family, but I'll be knitting the whole time. And so I'm really looking forward to it. So I want to get these ready so I can do that. Okay, let me see what you've been saying in there. Let's have a look. Oh, you go back. Are we talking about the hands? Lovely lady in Drury, Sarah. Is that at the physiotherapist in Drury, Maureen? I think so. My mum has just been going to them. It could be. Just let me know. This is for the hand. Terry gets her regular massage. Make some new togs. Terry, I've thought about that, and I've actually got some fabric over there to make togs. And it wouldn't take long, would it? I last year I wore a bikini, which I really liked, actually. I was so hot last year. I don't think I'm going to have that trouble again this year. It seems to have finished now. I've decided it's finished. I don't do hot flushes or anything like that anymore. It is over, people. We have moved on. I didn't like it. I'm not doing it. and it's done. I'm done. And I actually don't really feel like that anymore. I feel pretty much back to my normal self, but different, but saggier, but a lot saggier and baggier. But apart from that, I'm not hot flushing. I know that I can make it happen if I eat some things. I know if I eat too much sugar, it's sugar. If I eat too much sugar, whether it's in the form of alcohol or carbs or whatever, if I eat too much, and I'm certainly not low carb by any means, but if I eat too much, I can make it happen like that again. It just happens. And so I've been trying to avoid that. So those days are over. I may not need to be in a bikini this summer, and I've seen some lovely togs patterns, and I have got some fabric. But I tell you what, Terry, you know what I want to do first? First of all, before I do all of that, I have got a skirt that I've cut out over there that I really want to sew. I have also got 2 pieces of fabric, one of which I've washed. I was going to show you today, but then I thought, it's getting too long, so I'll show you another day. I've got a piece of fabric that I've washed. It's for the Joni shirt, like Happy Days, that Joni. I've got the Joni fabric for the Joni shirt, that little pinky, bricky gingham one that I showed everybody on Wardrobe Toolbox the other day. I think it was on our knit night. And I've got that, it's washed and it's ready to go, and I have the pattern, and I want to sew those. I also have my beautiful Marimekko fabric that I'd like to make the same shirt out of, and then I would like to do the one with the frilly bit on the sleeve, and I've got some fabric sitting in a pile there. So you guys, I'm desperate to actually find more time to do all these things. Desperate. And so that's my aim. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try and just adjust the way I'm working and adjust the way I'm doing things so that I have a little bit more time to make things. So I'm going to do that first, and I might just have to wear old togs, find them in my box. We've got a box of togs in the cupboard, and I'll just find some togs in there and I'll just wear those. Although, to be honest, the kids hate it, but Brendan and I, Mr. Myrtle and I, often will just strip down and jump in the pool with no clothes on. So that is the best way to go for a swim. Katie said, I've just started using the Knit Pro Cubics. They are wood, but they are very square and I find them comfortable. Okay, I think that's, I've got some square ones. So I will do that because I am planning to do a shawl for the beginning of season 11. And I think I might do that on my Cubics. I think I might. I think I will actually. Lantern Moon, which are wood, are the best on my hand, says Andrea. Okay, well, that's good to know. Lantern Moon, I've heard about them. Barbara likes the Knit Pro Carbons. However, the size I've used the most has developed a wee ridge where the carbon joins to the metal tip. Oh, okay. Well, that's tricky, isn't it? Because they do get a lot of use, don't they? Okay, I'll keep looking. Alyssa said, I got 4mm and 3.2 square needles. I love them, but I've got so many projects on needles and I can't afford too many square ones. I think that's the thing, Alyssa. I have a really full box. I don't know where they are. They're not there. They must be in my knitting basket. I've got a really full pouch of knitting needles, so many knitting needles. So it does feel a little bit like, I don't really want to start again. I still want to use the metal ones. And for lace, they're beautiful. But I also want to protect my hands. And if I can have a more comfortable knit with the something else, then I will. Lynn said, with the square needles, they're measured differently. A 4mm has each side at 4mm, so the circumference is 16. Oh. She says the circumference of a 4mm round needle is a little over 12.5. Watch your gauge. You see, this is the other thing. That, excuse me, you guys are used to my gauge, and I don't think it changes radically. And so if I start swapping out my needles and my gauge changes, it might be a little bit of a nuisance for some of you who are just used to being the same knitter as me. And I don't want you to have to go and buy all the new needles as well. So I didn't know that about the cubics and measuring differently. I think with a shawl, it probably will be a good place to start because it won't be the end of the world, the gauge. But that is good for everybody else to remember if you're swatching and you're swatching between cubics and something else, that your cubics are actually going to be a little bit bigger overall. Or not a little bit, quite a bit bigger overall. 16mm versus 12.5 in diameter, circumference, that's the right word. That's going to make a big difference. Terry says, I do like to get one project done, so I don't have many whips. I've only got 3 at the moment. I know, you say only 3. I hear only 3, and I hear 3. 3 whips. Okay, 3 whips. Like, I do have whips. They're sitting there, but I haven't touched them. Every once in a while, I'll pull them out, and I love the idea of it. But I do 1. At the moment, I've been doing 1, and I've been knitting hard in 1, and then I do the next one, and then I do the next one, like that. And I'm thinking, I'm going to do 3. I think I'll start with 2 and then 3. I'll see how that goes, but I think that would be really fun. Maureen says, polygamy in a marriage? Nope. But knitting is okay for me as I get really bored super quickly. I need to have my hands active, not necessarily with housework, but knitting. Yeah, I think the thing is that it's not that I get bored, because I don't get bored because I'm doing the designing. I'm always thinking. It's always got me active, and I'm always thinking about what I'm doing. But like, for example, this one I anticipate will have a colourful yoke but a plain body. So by the time I get to the body, I'll be like, okay, I think my brain is ready to now move on to something else. Although I am a fast knitter, so I can get through a body, but it would be good. Then I could put that down and I could say, all right, I'll pick up something else. Now, the other thing to note is that these extras, the extras are going to be for general release, not for Wardrobe Toolbox. So I will have my primary focus where I have my deadline knit, because I've got to work a bit better about that, about doing more in advanced. But they will be my Wardrobe Toolbox knit, which has a strict deadline. But this stuff, no deadline. So I can dip in and out of it, and I can come back to it. And as long as I've written the pattern down, and as long as I have it available, and I can come back and pick it up where I left off, and I don't forget what I was trying to do, and I make good notes, and I actually, I try and write the pattern before I start. As long as I do that, I think that'll be good. I think that'll work a bit better for me. Look, I'm so optimistic. I'm a really optimistic person anyway, but I'm being very, very optimistic about this. And I'm going to go at it with a very optimistic attitude. So can you help me do that, please? Keep reminding me. Hi, Charlotte from Edinburgh. Nice to see you. Now, who is this Knit Purl Repeat? Because I know that we talked last time and you have a new podcast, and it might also be Charlotte. I can't remember if it is. And I still need to go and check out your podcast. So I'm just going to put it into my phone now and see if I can't find it. Knit Purl Repeat. You could put it in the chat for us. Purl Repeat. Because I'm pretty sure that's what we talked about last time. I found you already. All right, I'm going to go and have a little look later when I'm finished. Anyway, Knit Purl Repeat, whose name I've forgotten, might be Charlotte, says, I need multiple projects to give me variety, and especially for my hands, different weights and movement of hands, and definitely my brain. And that's why I love designing. That is just why I love it. I really do. I mean, I also just love knitting. But I found myself, when I was knitting, I wasn't just knitting. I was, I've got a great idea. I'm going to make a whole wardrobe outfit in a month. Oh, I've got a great idea. I'm going to push myself and do something completely crazy that is unrealistic for a person to do with 4 small children and stuff like that. I would find myself doing things that were just a little bit off the, too much, too crazy. So I do love knitting, but I would always think about, all right, now what? Oh, I could put it with this. Oh, I could make it with that. Oh, it'll be amazing with this. And oh, I could try a technique I've never done before, and I could do it like that. My brain just wants to do all of these exciting things. I have a really good time in my head. I really enjoy it. I always have a good time. So I don't tend to get bored. I just don't get bored. I never have. Sue says, I've been having hand and elbow issues too, and I tried some of the stretching ideas from that book. Good stuff, Sue. Last year, I hurt my back, and it took a good 6 months to fix my back, and I was surprised at how long it was taking for things to heal. I think things are taking longer to heal on me now. And but my back, it was a good 6 months before that was better. My upper back. Do you remember I was having a lot of trouble turning like that? And then before that, I had it my elbow, and I did something strange to my elbow, and it was like a tennis elbow, but it just got better. I slowly got it better. I did quite a bit of exercises and yoga for both my elbow and my back, and I did a lot of exercises actually for my back, and I can't remember what I did for my elbow. I remember looking on the computer at different exercises I could do to help my elbow. Anyway, it did fix eventually, but it just took time, and it took way longer than it would have taken even a few years ago. So I think that's part of the bother, isn't it? We just have to be patient and wait for it to just get better, slowly get better. And at least things are still getting better, but yeah, I'm very conscious about that, taking a bit more time. Sharon also wants more time in the day. Oh, Sharon, I know, it's such a bother, isn't it? I need more hours. Charlotte says, I generally have an easier project to take to knit and natter group, a sit in front of the TV project, and a more complicated one from when I'm on my own enjoying peace and quiet. And that idea I love. I love that idea that there are different projects you can pick up and put down for different times. And then we're talking about the colour of this beautiful yarn that I'm going to use for this yoke sweater, which I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be so pretty. Barbara says it reminds you of the ocean when the seas are calm. Yeah, we'll try and make it calm, I think. I think I'll try and make it, a little bit stained glass and a little bit kind of those beautiful feminine curves, and a little bit, and curves of the ocean, and curves of the beautiful abalones. And I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and bring some of that into it like that. Michelle says she's in Christmas knitting mode, so she's trying not to daydream too much about sweaters for next winter. I know, summer tops for January and February. I know, it's hard, isn't it, when you know you've got to do something else and then you're thinking about all the other things. And that's what I've been struggling with, because here I am knitting. I get to a point in my design and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of sorted now. I just need to get to the end. Right. And I've got all these ideas as I'm knitting. I'm like, oh, I could have done like this. Oh, I could have done, oh, it'd be interesting to do it like that. And then I just need to be doing that and something else. So I'm going to try. Robin said, I'm admiring the cardi that you're wearing today. Oh, the name of this one? This is Itsumo. I haven't even told you what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing today my Itsumo cardigan. It's perfect for this weather. It is a little raglan cardigan with 3/4 length sleeves, and she is knitted inside out. You actually knit her, I mean, she's flat, isn't she? But you do knit the sleeves in the stockinette. So you just knit them and then flip them in the wrong way, so you don't have to worry about purling everything. But she's knitted inside out. Now, some people have knitted this cardigan and they've realized that actually their yarn wants to be stockinette. So your yarn will tell you what it wants to be. Some yarn does not want to be reverse stockinette. So do swatch and see what it wants to be. But I do love it. I just love the texture of her. And then I've just got a little simple garter band, just a little simple garter through the raglan, and then the bands I particularly love. So the bands use a slip stitch, as does the bottom here. I've just got them on the cuff as well. I'll show you up close. So it's got, look, I've got you can see my little pills now. I've got little slip stitch cuffs which lie beautifully flat. I really loved that. Don't remember where I got that from. Sometimes I just make things up. And so I've got these pretty little buttons on it. And then on this side, this is the first time I did little I-cord buttonholes for a garment and put them on down the side. And I just love it. I love this cardigan. It's really sweet. I could do with it in another color. Sometimes I wonder if this color might be a little bit flat, but yeah, she's nice. And I'm wearing her over the little top that I made, with a little frill at the bottom. It's pretty. It's just a little light viscose, and I got this fabric from Spotlight, and the pattern is, I can't remember what it's called, ruffle top or something like that, and it's a free one from Frankie magazine. Is that the name of it? I think it's Peppermint magazine. It's a little free one. It's the woman who does there's the fold line and there's in the folds. She does in the folds from Peppermint magazine. She was designing for them, and it's a free pattern. So I just got it online, and it's really cute, and it's got a little V at the back and a little scoop at the front and no sleeves. So I'm going to enjoy this one this summer, I think. And yeah, she works beautifully. And then I've got my Putakawa necklace, and it's glass, and my Putakawa necklace is because it's nearly Christmas in New Zealand, and everywhere. And our New Zealand Christmas tree is really the beautiful Pohutukawa. There's beautiful big sort of swollen red fluffy flowers that come out at Christmas time. Just stunning. Gnarly old trees. So yes, it's sumo. That's the name of the cardigan. It means every day in Japanese. All right. I like Lisa's channel. She is how I found you as a designer. Oh, that's really cool. Glad she's been importing yarn to make it more accessible to us in the Southern Hemisphere. Yes, and that is fantastic. So she's given me some others. I'll show you that over the time, but this is the one I think I'll work on first. It was really kind of her to send it to me. She said, would you like to try some? I said, I definitely would like to try some. So I'll go back and get some more off her. I think I'll do this color. I mean, I think she really figured out what colors I like, which is fantastic. But this one is the one I just thought first, oh, I could just see that little pretty pink top. And I often imagine things. I go very brown in the summer. And so I often imagine with a summer knit, how's it going to look when I'm really brown? I think it'll look quite nice when I'm really brown. I think the difference between that and my more pinky skin or yellow skin in the winter will be good. It will be better in the summer when I have a good tan on. So I'll photograph it at the end of the summer. Hi everybody. What are togs? Oh, Kim, togs are swimming togs. They're swimming. What do we call them? Swimwear, swimsuit togs. Someone else is going to ask what togs are too. We call them togs down here in New Zealand. I think it might originally be a British word, your togs, but yes, I forget that. So it's just a bathing suit or a swimsuit. We call them togs. So they're our togs. So they're essential summer kit here in New Zealand, your togs. And your togs generally are a one piece, but you might also just refer to your togs, and they would be a one piece or a bikini, or for the boys, just, shorts or Speedos or whatever. They have a general word togs, but then if we can also differentiate between togs, which is a one piece, and bikini. So we kind of have two names for them. Oh, Barbara's sitting unpicking her Amelia cardigan. It's not easy with the mohair and the band. She loves the fabric and created the yarn, the colour and the pattern. It's just not flattering fit for you. It's too big on the shoulders and the up bust. Oh, Barbara, you know all about that now. You can fix it. So that's fantastic. Yes, Alyssa says the cubics are bigger, so you can't use a regular round hole gauge to check them. I didn't realise that. That's good to know, actually. Cindy says she's got 5 projects going and she's getting ready to cast on another. Oh, I know. They'll just, I don't know. I used to have more than one project on the go. But yeah, I've just sort of narrowed it down over the years. Andrea said, if I knit only one project, my hands get sore. So I always have at least 2 projects. Now that is a good point, actually, Andrea. It's just using different fibers and different needles and different yarn constructions will make a difference to how your hands are feeling. So that's a good reason for me to do more. Oh, it's Jess. I keep calling you Charlotte. Jess from Knit Purl Repeat. She just made a channel to ramble about her fiber journey. There you are, guys. We can go and check her out. Other YouTube folk talked me into starting a channel. I blame them. It's fun. I know. Well, my sister told me to start a blog to talk about my knitting. So we'll blame her for everything that happened from then. Maureen says, I swim in a sarong, but in the heat of summer and when I have no one here, naked. But you need to get your gear sorted first before jumping into a pool. Yes, I do. All right, everybody. What else was I going to say? I think that's basically what I was going to talk to you about today. I thought I'm going to tell you how I get on with all of that. I'm going to tell you how I get on with my thumb. I'm going to tell you how I get on with these new knits, because I really want to have some things to show you as well. So I won't promise I have anything as substantial to show you next week, but I will make a start. I might wind these into cakes. I might look up some images that just start sparking my imagination. I'll think about what I want to wear, particularly for this one. I'll start thinking about what I want to wear it with, and if I'm thinking it's for summer, I actually wouldn't mind a pair of high-waisted shorts. And I've got the Lander pant pattern with the buttons up the front, and I wouldn't mind that as a pair of shorts, or making I don't know, those of you will know, there's another pattern which I've got called the Moss skirt from Grainline Studio. I do like a really short skirt. in the summer. And so like a little denim-y skirt, not out of denim, but maybe a color, like whether it's cream or whether it's I don't know, I sort of want to go lighter, so it might be a lighter color for the summer, but thinking about what I want to wear this with, and that will help me then see the whole image of the outfit that I'm creating. And I can just, in my mind's eye, I start picturing it, and I can just see this me in it. Well, it's not necessarily me, it's just the woman, it's the ideal person in it, just turning around, and I can see different parts of it. If you can just visualize around the picture in your head, it kind of is all 3D. So I think that's what I'll do, and I'll just start knitting it. And as I knit it, I think the information that comes from my hands to my yarn to my brain all starts coming together, and my hands start telling me what the yarn wants to be, and then my brain starts telling my hands what they should do. So it is nice thinking about it. I think one of the main things that I think is probably helpful for all of us is to just relax. And I think when you let your brain, if you're trying to work and you're feeling really uptight and pressured, well, I don't know about you, but I can't think like that. I really can't. I find it's just, I can't work in a rush. I find I get really tight, and all my thoughts are tight. I don't like it. I need space. Physically I need space, and mentally I need space, and creatively I need a lot of space. And so I think if I relax, I can make it happen by just relaxing. And I find when I go to bed at night, if I close my eyes and I just imagine either the problem I'm working on with a pattern, and I just think my way through what I'm doing, just there's no noise, it's all quiet, I shut my eyes, I can often come up with the solution. Then I can do that with problems, although I try not to think about problems to do with the kids or anything then, because then I end up being too worried and I wake up. So I don't think about that. I actually lie there thinking, I'm not going to think about that now. I'm not going to think about that now. I'm not going to think about that, or I'm not going to think about that at all. And I tell myself that at night. So I try not to think about those sort of problems. But knitting problems, I definitely can think about, and also ideas around design. So I can just lie there with my eyes shut, and it's blissful, because it feels like you have the whole night ahead of you. But you don't, of course, because I fall asleep quite quickly. But I just relax your brain, and all of a sudden, the creativity, my creativity, I can just see it. The problem then sometimes is remembering it in the morning. And so you have these wonderful ideas, and then you wake up and you either remember them and you think, that was dumb, or you wake up in the morning and you think, I have no idea what I was thinking. But sometimes they come back. Anyway, I enjoy that. It just helps give me some sort of space in my head. All right, everybody, I've rambled on for far too long this morning. It is so nice to see you all. I hope you're doing lots of knitting that you're enjoying. If you are a polygamous knitter, I would love to hear all your tips on how you manage everything. Do put them into the Hangout, the Truly Myrtle Hangout. You can find that on Facebook. It's at facebook.com/groups/Truly Myrtle. And it's called the Truly Myrtle Knit and Chat Hangout. And we talk about making Truly Myrtle patterns over there. And for those people who have still got Truly Myrtle yarn, using Truly Myrtle yarn. And it's really friendly. It's busy. It's really busy over there. It's a big group. There's over 5,000 lovely knitters in that group. So come and chat to us over there and share your thoughts about polygamous knitting. And you could tag me. You could either tag me as Truly Myrtle or tag me as Libby, and I will find your comment, because sometimes I just get lost in there because there's so many people and so many conversations. So do tag me if you want me to actually specifically see a really good suggestion for me. That would be helpful. And otherwise, make sure you're jumped on my mini mag list. And that's, I've told you already, but it's at trulymyrtle.com/minimag, one word. If you just go to trulymyrtle.com, you will see a sign up form for it there, and then you can talk to me as well. So I will send you an email, and then you can hit reply and talk back to me, and I will see those. I read everything. So you can send it back to me. You can also comment on the bottom of this video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And don't forget, just if you like it and you want to see me again, make sure you click like, you put the thumbs up, and you could subscribe. So that would be really nice to do as well. You could like the Facebook page or something like that. And then make sure that the computer knows, I want to see more of this lady. We'll do it again. Let's go talk knitting again. All right, everybody, have a really, really happy day. Have a happy week, and I will see you at the same time, same place next week for more knitting chatter. All right, everyone. See you later. Bye.